Hey team, I think we can all agree that this is the best outcome of a bad situation. 2 weeks in level 3, far less daunting than going all the way back to level 4. With that being said, there's a high chance that this is our new normal, that we're going to be going in and out of lockdown, up and down in levels and alert system. So I don't say this to scaremonger, but what I do want to do is try allow us as a community to have the best outcome possible in this current situation. Now, during the last lockdown, when I had plenty of time with my thoughts, as I'm sure a lot of you guys did, I had the opportunity to kind of explore a little bit of philosophy, and I dived into Stoicism a little bit. Now, I had dabbled with bits and pieces of it before, but never really got into it, and I'm still by no means an expert on the subject. There may be someone in our community that is a little bit more knowledgeable than even I am, but what I did find is that some of the virtues and practices that Stoicism uses really helped me through the last lockdown, and I've continued to try to apply those to life as much as I can. So with that being said, I wanted to touch on a few of the points today, and then if it is something that resonates with you, then you can then go do your own research and see if it's something that you would like to apply to your life. So the Stoic philosophy is essentially based on the principle that we can't control the events that happen to us, but we can control the way we react. And with that being said, the world is never going to be perfect, but we can view the world as it is and then continue to pursue self-improvement. Stoicism aims to pursue self-improvement through 4 virtues. We've got practical wisdom, temperance or self-control, justice, and courage. Today I wanted to touch on the first one, practical wisdom, which is the ability to navigate a complex situation in a practical manner. So I'm sure you guys can all agree that lockdown and this up and down situation during COVID is a complex situation. Until recently, it was completely uncharted waters for all of us. So with that being said though, we have all been through 7 weeks of lockdown, and through a little bit of self-awareness and a little bit of self-reflection, you can look back and you can see what worked for you and what didn't work for you in that last lockdown. And what I mean by that is what gave you a positive effect and what was a negative effect on your life. Now, through having literally hundreds and hundreds of conversations with our community and the Functional Fitness Tamaki and our Renegade Performance community, I've compiled a few correlations with people of 2 main areas that really affected and helped people have a positive outcome. And I want you to really try and focus on these 2 areas over the next couple weeks to ensure that you can just slide back into level 2 and then eventually level 1 as easily as possible with minimal downtime. So the first area that I noticed most people said was a positive effect was the ability to have structure and routine to their day. Now, whether you realize it or not, you have a bit of structure and routine to your normal life. You get up, you go to work, you come to the gym after work, you go home, you have dinner, you go to bed. Boom, easy, structure. With work from home, you have a lot less structure. You can usually get up a little bit later, you can have meals when you want to, you can train when you feel like it, and you usually might end up going to bed a little bit later as a result of not having to get up quite as early. This loose structure and this lack of routine can lead to a sporadic result in whatever you're doing. You might skip meals, you might skip training sessions, and once in a while that's not the end of the world. But if it starts happening a couple days in a row and then a week on end, that's when you really start to set yourself back and undo a lot of the hard work that you've been putting in the previous weeks. So my challenge for you guys is to take your routine that you normally have with normal life and try to retain that as much as possible in lockdown. So that could mean setting yourself a strict wake up time, having a shower and getting into work clothes. It may sound simple or stupid even, but it can make a big difference to your attitude for that day. From there, have a strict morning tea time, have a strict lunch time, have a strict dinner time. That structure will prevent you from hanging out in the kitchen, looking through the cupboards or looking through the fridge. And then finally, really important, have a strict training time. Either jump on a Zoom call at the same time each day when possible and do one of the Zoom classes. Maybe arrange to just do a workout with some of the other guys from the gym at a specific time. But whatever you do, set yourself some routine like you would when you go to a normal class and have structure. The second thing that was a really big one was the social interaction. Whether you realize it or not, whether you're introverted or extroverted, when you come into the gym, you are in contact with hundreds of people and you're in a positive environment. You're surrounded by people that are trying to also better themselves on the same journey. Now, that's been completely taken away from you. You don't get exposed to that positivity on a daily or weekly dose like you normally do. So, you need to expose yourself to this in any way that you can. Now, the Zoom classes might not be for everyone. You might not like working out on camera, or the times might not work for you. But even just showing up to a Zoom class just to watch or just to have 5 minutes of banter before or at some point during the day, or jumping on one of our social events just to see some familiar faces can have a huge effect of positivity on your mental health. So I really encourage you to, where possible, even if it's just once a week for 5 minutes, to jump on a call or jump into one of the social events that we're going to be organizing to have that social interaction. So I hope you could take a bit of positivity from what I've just exposed you to and some of the principles of Stoicism. So that there was a bit of practical wisdom, okay? Next, we're going to be diving into a little bit of temperance or self-control. Justice isn't really too much of a topic that's going to be applicable right now, but then also courage as well. Thank you once again for taking the time to watch this, and I hope it helped, and even if it just helps one of you, then I'm happy.